Good afternoon and welcome back to Masnews Prime. I'm Alexander Sepulveda.
Good afternoon, I am Felipe Puentes.
And we will start with the next report. France accuses before the UN of racism and police violence.
The past May 1 of 2023, a lot of countries expresses their worries before the United Nations about the police violence, even against protesters. In France that lives another journey of allegations. Besides, they avoid other things like the attacks on migrants, racial discrimination, and religious intolerance during the Universal Periodic Exam, to which 194 countries must submit every 4 years. France must take measures to board, in a transparent way, the complaints about the excessive use of violence by the police in manifestations, stated the representative of Sweden before the Council of Human Rights in Geneva. In the same France, the criticism against the use of force has multiplied in the last months. The Chinese representative censored the increase of racism and xenophobia in France and the urgent end to measures that violate the rights of migrants. The Minister of Gender Equality and Diversity, Isabelle Romé, who headed the French delegation, didn't answer directly to all the criticism, but compared the racism and anti-Semitism with a poison to the Republic. Sabrine Baudin, legal advisor to the French Ministry of the Interior, said to the Council that the use of the force was strictly supervised, controlled, and, in case of a wrong use, penalized. Also, she remembered that police members have the obligation to always carry an identification number to assure the visibility and traceability of their actions, an obligation not always respected, so the French Minister of Interior, Gérald Darmanin, demanded to be carried in all circumstances.
The Realba case, definitely something that took the mayor of Vitacura by surprise. And now we see the next note.
Hello, I'm Felipe Puentes. Do you remember the case of Realba? Well, it is worth noting that the former mayor, the Realba, is accused against the treasury and money laundering by the municipality of Vitacura.
Turrialba case, former Vitacura. According claims that political funds were justified as overtime. According to Cesar Silva's statement to the investigators, it was Renato Sepulveda who would remind them not to forget that they could regulate certain expenses under the level of overtime. They will also attribute them as advances from suppliers of service. Additionally, in addition to his initial statement, the former official also stated that Domingo Prieto forced them to pay for a series of personal expenses he incurred. On August 26 and 2021, Cesar Silva, the former employee of the Vitacura municipality, during the administration of former mayor Raúl Torrealba, confronted the detectives investigating the ex-mayor for tax fraud and conspiracy face-to-face. On that occasion, he provided details of the modus operandi used by the designated RN militant and his inner circle to obtain municipal funds. And he also shed some light on political campaign financing, also with funds from the municipality. From then on, a series of statements from other former officials were added, which are now part of the investigation file led by Prosecutor Francisco Yacer from the Eastern Metropolitan Prosecutor Office. However, Silva recently appeared voluntarily before the PDE officials again, this time revealing the method used to justify the uses of municipal funds of campaigns.
Now let's go to a little commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Scientists are pioneering new solutions, searching for innovative ways to fight malnutrition and bring sustenance to those in need. Meet Lucas, a young boy who dreams of a brighter future. But her dreams are overshadowed by the harsh reality of malnutrition. Lucas' story is just one among millions. Around the world, countless lives are impacted by inadequate nutrition. Together, we can make a difference. Let's unite to combat poor nutrition, providing hope, nourishment, and opportunities for a better tomorrow. Join the movement. Together, we can end poor nutrition.
Now we have a tragedy news, a case of femicide in Parral, where a gendarmerie officer killed his partner and surrendered to the police. Let's see the details in the note of Daylin Arias.
Hello everyone! A new case of the femicide occurred in the country. This time a 32 years old woman was murdered by her partner in the city of Parral Maule region. The confessed perpetrator is gendarmerie officer who, after committing the crime, turned himself to the carabineros. The couple had an 4 years old daughter in common. Supervisor Venegas of the BH Linares gave the official spokesperson. We carried out the first diligence to establish the facts. She, Miley, has once in the sexual sector, which caused her death, he said. To close, he pointed out that we have started previous complaints for this same fact, violence, but they are part of the investigate file. For now, their veracity is being established.
In another news, a man threatens his own mother with a corkscrew. Let's know more about this in the note of Sofia Canto.
Good afternoon. On night 5, in the Spanish city of Elche, a young man in his 20s threatened his mother with a corkscrew, demanding her credit card and phone. The local police arrived at the scene after being alerted by a car reporting the situation. When arrived at the site, the police saw who a man tried to take a young man out of the residence. The man is the father of the young man, and also the person who made the call. The police listened to both versions of the story and made the official report. The father reported that the young man had arrived earlier, quite obsessed, demanding his mother's card and phone. When he received the refusal from her, the young man threatened her with a corkscrew and later threatened to hurt himself with if the request was not delivered. His father said his son is a drug addict, and that was not the first time this happened. He said that he has previously come home in the same state with a knife, saying they will kill them all. The police officer opened hearing this process to arrest the young man.
We'll be back, and now we're heading to Africa. Our correspondent Tania Araya have a special report in this place.
3 million out of South Africa's 60 million citizens lack basic education. Their lack of literacy and numeracy adversely affected the productivity and profitability of businesses. This, along with other problems related to literacy, cost the South African economy $6.7 billion annually, according to a new study by the Australian-based non-profit World Literacy Foundation. What's worse is that literacy levels have continued to decline in the country over the past 2 years. As a community of literacy experts, we face significant challenges as the early data shows a drop in literacy rates post-pandemic, said Andrew Kay, World Literacy Foundation CEO. Adult literacy in Africa's most developed economy is 87% lower than that of developing countries like Mexico, Zimbabwe, and Brazil. Due to this, the country's businesses bear the cost of processing incorrect orders, handing off refunds, and resolving other internal problems apart from losing customers due to poor communication. Besides, illiteracy also reduces South Africans' income earning capacity and increases the country's social cost, according to Kay. Illiterate people are estimated to earn 30 and 42% less than their literate counterparts, although the overall impact of illiteracy on personal income may not be universal. South Africa's long-standing reading crisis is mainly attributed to inadequate teachers in school. Other challenges include the poor reading culture and inadequate access to books.
The immigration situation in Chile is something that has given to talk about. Our journalist Aarom Gómez has a report about that. Go ahead, Aaron.
The migratory crisis and even worse illegacy generate an uncontrolled increase of people. This in turn harms the poor sector of the country, a sector that unable to cover their basic living needs. Seeing how he reacts in the workplace, many unemployed Chileans are affected by the high demand for employability. Because immigrants are also looking for work, they improve their quality of life. Because of this, we see that the country poverty sector increases exponentially, which creates an imbalance in the Chilean economy. This crisis occurs at the beginning of 2020 in the country. This happened on the Chilean border that borders Peru and Bolivia, where many foreign transit to be able to go to the north-south of the area. At the beginning of 2023, President Gabriel Boric carries out a military deployment in these areas in order to manage the flow of immigrants that cross the border and stop the illegacy. But even so, the number of people who cannot cover their needs basic must go through situations such as living in campment, being in the streets as well as living in them. Not only immigrants, but also several Chileans come to this situation which are not a correct way of living.
And now we'll see the weather report from Santiago of the next 3 days. The day Friday, we have a 12 degrees in the day, perfectly to accompany the afternoon with a very delicious white peas. On the Saturday, we have to close at 17 degrees. On the last day, the Sunday, we have a temperature of 38 degrees. The temperature has changed because the climate change is more dangerous than other years. Thank you for this information, and now we have the end of this report of the day. Thank you very much, and love you a lot.